Alright, so we got the helicopter in the fuselage here. We were able to get the landing gear mounted, get the tail mounted up, and the tail fin. A couple of things that I did here. The tail fin actually is supposed to be glued on, but I went ahead and I added a couple of screws here just to make this a little firmer. I just didn't think that was going to stay all by itself. Another thing too, it takes a little bit of finesse to get the gear all lined up the way you want it, but after a little bit of work, it can be put in nice and good here. I will say it was quite a tight squeeze to get this into the fuselage here. I actually had to rework how I had my servos, installing them from the insides of the frames. On the insides, screwed them in screws this way. Because my arms were too far out and they were rubbing against the side here. It's just a very close cut, so I did have to file some off right here on this edge to make that work. But then once I did that, now there's plenty of clearance here for the mechanics here on top as well. Definitely a lot of room here for my gear. There's actually room for the light kit. I think eventually I'll put the light kit in here as well. Another side note here, these side mounting posts are not quite as aligned as I'd like for them to have been, but I was able to kind of get that worked out. So far the tail mechanics are nice and smooth coming through the fuselage. This rod is actually a Z-bend rod. You guys saw where the servo was at, and that'll bring the mechanics out here to the tail. But all in all, it was a pretty fun build to put this together. I think that, you know, for my first shot, it wasn't as tough as I would have expected it to be, and everything seems to go together pretty well. So stay tuned. I'd like to get a flight video, and then I'll give you guys a flight report of how she handles in here. Right now I've got it on 2 cells. It's some extra weight here with the fuselage, so I might go with a 3-cell and a 10-tooth pinion. We'll see how that works. I'm going for a scale effect, so I don't need a lot of raw power. I wanted to, you know, climb slow, bank slow, you know, and require some good collective management to control, because I wanted to handle like a regular full-size helicopter would handle. So 2 cells may just cut the mustard for that. We'll see what happens. Alright, so there it is, the Hughes 500 scale fuselage with the G200 here. Not that many steps. Everything was included right in the kit. So I'll get a flight video up.